CBS News contributor Peggy Noonan is a Wall Street Journal columnist and joins us once again at the table. Hey, Peggy.
Good morning.
I was at a
Hi,
New York
guys.
dinner party last night. Democrats, Republicans, it was a main topic of conversation. He meant it. He didn't mean it. He doesn't really want this job. What the hell is he thinking? What's your opinion?
Luckily, I'm a trained Freudian analyst.
Yeah.
He acts, Donald Trump is not acting in a way that suggests he really wants the job lately. He's done a funny thing. He's shot up for 8 or 9 points, hit 30, he's shot up for 8 or 9 months. He hit like 38 to 40% on the Republican side. What he had to do at this point was sort of reach out to those who'd looked at him but didn't like him and reassure them. And instead of reassuring them, he is giving them pause consistently for the past few weeks in his statements, in his strange approach to things. So he is alienating people who he might have been bringing into his tent, and it makes you wonder what he's up to.
But Dr. Freud.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, the question is he simply not ready for this in terms of some comprehension, ready for prime time, and his campaign is all of a sudden now meeting the rubber meets the ground?
Yeah, but when you're
Not
running...
because he doesn't want it.
Yeah, well, when you're running for president, you ought to be ready. You ought to have thought of about the serious issues around you. One of the things that was startling about his abortion comment is that abortion is a perennial subject in American politics the past 35 years, and he showed no sense that he had actually thought through it and thought through some of its more delicate questions, and that was startling.
But he has to know this is damaging. He has to.
Oh, I think so. I was
Well,
watching
obviously because
him.
they issued a later report.
Which we never see from him.
Yes, so he had the clarification, but also if you saw him on the stump in Wisconsin yesterday, he looks less like his ebullient, popping off person. He looks more like someone who realizes he's in trouble and who doesn't know how to get himself out.
This from the Washington Post today. He would start the general election campaign as the least popular candidate to represent either party in modern times. 3/4 of women view him unfavorably. 2/3 of independents, 80% of young adults, 85% of Hispanics, and nearly half of Republicans and Republican-leaning independents.
See, that's hurting him, and those numbers have been only growing. There's a big primary coming up in Wisconsin, and we see that just in the past month, according to some polls, Trump was 10 points ahead. Now suddenly, according to last night's poll, he's 10 points behind. Something is happening now with the Trump campaign. The biggest cliche has been, there's nothing he can say that hurts him. But in fact, in the aggregate, when you add up sort of disturbing or strange things that he says maybe every other day, it does come to give an impression. The impression it gives is bad.
Yeah, but I think what it says is what's happening in the country in response rather than what's happening in the Trump campaign.
You mean they're starting to listen to him?
Yes.
You mean a greater
It's beginning to add up.
A greater attentiveness. I think the real story is just for the first time he has been hurt, and he's been hurt by himself. He was always the only one who could hurt Donald Trump, and I think he's doing it.
Agree with that. Well,
You know, the only thing I was going to say is simply what Kasich said about this idea of the seriousness of the office, that maybe now is he going to respect some of that? Will we see a change in Donald Trump?
Yeah. I don't know if you'll see a change. We're about to find out if he is capable of stabilizing and becoming serious.
Well,
I've been waiting for
continued.
that for some time. I haven't seen it yet.
There's
Don't hold your
always
breath. Don't
something
hold your
new.
breath,
Thank you,
right?
Peggy Noonan. Always good to see you.